and welcome to this new special episode of Continuum Gaming, in which I will present you a new little gimmick of me, or a new little gadget, which is this Bose Sound Wear part. And it's more or less a neck speaker. Many people don't know what that is, but it's really a nice little device where you can, for example, put the speaker around your neck, and like that you can, for example, hear music or take telephone calls or something like that. And it's connected by Bluetooth, and it's really a really nice little device I want to present to you in this little video. So first off, we will have a little unboxing video of this, and after that I will show you a little bit more about how it functions, what's cool about it, and why I'm using it now. Yeah, and here you can see it. On the left side we have the Bose Sound Wear companion speaker package, of course, and on the right side there is the Lumia 950 XL, and we want to combine them with each other, so let's have a look at that. First I want to simulate some kind of an unboxing video, because of course I opened this before, but I try to bring it in the same state as the first time I opened it, so it should be close to that. And yeah, what you can see here is just the package of the speaker, the neck speaker more or less. And yeah, it's just some kind of a nice little package. Nothing very special about it, but nice enough. What I have to mention is that you can see here some kind of a compatibility list, but of course if you have a Bluetooth device it should work anyway, and because of that you don't have to give a shit about that, what's shown up there. So first time I will just get rid of this little package here. So this is just more or less some kind of a sticker paper, and of course you can see some of the specs of the device on here. For example, it can run up to 12 hours per charge, which for example is much longer than the competing product I found, which is the JBL one, and this one is really giving you twice the battery life. For example, it's 6 hours for the JBL and 12 for this one. And yeah, there are a lot of things which really tell you buy this one and not the JBL one, if you ask me. But this is not a comparison video between the neck speakers here, which are available, but I want to show you how this is packaged and what is in there. So let's have a look. As you can see, we see now a quite nice box with a black finish on it. There is, for example, the Bose logo, of course, because it's a Bose device, of course. And now I can just open it up by just lifting this. As you can see, we have instruction manual stuff in here. I will just put this aside for now, and let's have a look at this little beauty here. As you can see, it's the speaker, of course, and it's packed in some kind of a fabric. So if you, for example, have a look at the package itself, on the back there, you can see the woman is wearing it without the fabric around it. I will show you how that is possible, because there's this little snipper you can see here, and you can, for example, just close this or open it up, as I do here. And yeah, what's happening there? This is just to be able, for example, to wash this. So if you, for example, sweat a lot or something like that, because it's around your neck, of course, you may sweat a little, and it's probably going to be a little bit dirty after a while. And because of that, you can just get rid of this. So open it up here, and then you can just use your device by its own, or you just wash this. I wouldn't recommend to wash it in a washing machine, for example, because here is some kind of a leathery part, but in the end do it with a hand wash or something, and then it should be nice and looking again. Yeah, what I can show you here too is that there are, of course, some kind of buttons, and there is the battery charger. Don't know if you can see it, I hope so. at this point there's a battery charger. It's just a USB, micro USB port you can use, and of course in this little bag up there you will find a micro USB cable for that. I will show you what's on there. So let's have a look what's in this part of the package. So just open this, and there are a lot of instruction manuals and startup guides and stuff like that, but it's really a small one because there's not much to talk about there. And of course you have this little micro USB port cable which can be used to, for example, charge your device. What I find a little bit disappointing is that there is no kind of plug for the power supply itself. This is really a high quality, quite expensive product. There should be something like that in here. But no matter what, the device itself is really a nice one, and those kind of adapters there are really cheap to buy. So let's say it's okay to have it like that. Okay, so I will just close this now. And as you can see, we have some kind of information here. Because there are, of course, buttons on this device. So if you wear it, for example, you can just for example, use this buttons here, because this is to increase the volume. We can, for example, it's more or less an enter button or something. So everything, or a return button, everything you want to confirm or something, you press on this. And of course there is a volume down button too. This button can be used to, for example, access Cortana on this device too. I will show you later on how that is done. But it's really a nice thing to do that, and you can just use Cortana, for example, to use, I don't know, to go to the next music track or something like that. That's really a nice feature there. And on the other side there's of course the button to activate the device, and there is of course the Bluetooth device button where you have to click to connect to a Bluetooth device, like for example the Lumia 950 XL we are using in this case. Okay, so let's put aside the packaging here and let's have a look at the device itself. If you are wondering how heavy this is, I don't know exactly the exact weight of it, but it's really quite light, and especially if you are wearing it around your neck or something, you won't really notice it. For example, the JBL one I tested out because I tested all the devices of this kind I could find in my local electronics store. And the JBL one, for example, is a lot heavier, feels a lot heavier, and it's really nothing I would recommend you to buy here. Okay, so first off, what I can do here is, of course, I can activate it like this. And the first thing the device will tell me, and it will try to speak to me, is the battery state of the device, of course. So battery is 70%.
Mobile device not found. Ready to connect.
Yeah, and because I disconnected my device, for example, my Lumia 950 XL, it doesn't recognize that, of course, and we would have to reconnect it. And this is something I, of course, did for the presentation. In general, if you use it like that, you just have to activate it again. And if the Lumia 950 XL has Bluetooth activated on, then it would work as an instant. There's really no real connection process or something like that required. If you already had it connected once, it's really going to be up and running in, I don't know, 5 seconds or something. Okay, so first off, I will just, of course, activate my Lumia 950 XL now. Okay, and everything I have to do now is just go. First off, I will, of course, do it a little bit brighter so you can see something. And first off, I will just go to my Bluetooth device part here. And now I will just go to the Bluetooth or add Bluetooth device here. And as you hear from this device, it's telling me that it's ready to connect all the time now. So first off I will go into that, go to Bluetooth of course, and now as you can see it's really a fast process. There is a Bose Sound Wear, and if I do that, I don't know if you can hear it then, but you will for example be notified by the voice of this device which part or which device will connect to it. So I will do that.
Connected to Future's Lumia 950XL.
And as you heard, it told me that it's connected to Future's Lumia 950 XL now. Of course, that's meant to be Fuchur, but as I'm a German guy, and that is, yeah, Fuchur is dragon from a story we have around here. But in the end, that's more or less what it should tell me there, but it can't really know that word, so I'm not really angry about it. And as you can see, now I'm asked if I want to share the contacts and stuff like that and messages from my Lumia 950 device with this Bluetooth device, because this is not only a speaker of course, but it's also a Bluetooth headset with a microphone, and I can use this to do stuff with it. So first off I can just just use it like that. Oh, I'm not sure what happened now. If it's now, yeah, probably it's not sharing the information now, I'm not sure. Let's see. First off I will just disconnect again.
950XL disconnected.
And
Ready to connect.
she's telling me that I did that. I think I just waited too long for that. So let's try it again. Wait a little, there it is. Do the connection again.
Connected to
And now I will just
Lumia 950XL.
tell him that he can do that. Okay, we are ready. And now you can see we have a connection here and everything is working fine. Yeah, what I told you before, we can for example use this to do phone calls and stuff like that. And because of that I want to share the information there. And one other thing you should have a look at is if you want to use, for example, Cortana, you have to activate this little checkbox here, which is telling you that Cortana is allowed to use an alternative connection method to use Cortana with it. And if you want to use that, please activate that before you use the device itself. Okay, so next what I prepared here is I prepared some kind of music, and the music I'm using here is, yeah, as you all know, I'm from Germany and we have the GEMA here. And because of that I can't use, for example, some kind of very common music or something, because otherwise I would run into copyright issues here. And because of that I just got some music from the internet which is GEMA free and which I can use. I will of course show you somewhere on the screen now which music I'm playing, because I have to do that with this music too. And but I found a few clips I could use for this presentation here. And for that I'm just going to Groove Music, for example. And now I will just use some of that music. And as you can see, we have a connection there. And it's now coming from the Bose Sound Wear speaker. I of course can now put this into my pocket or somewhere, doesn't really matter. And now it's coming from these speakers. And of course, if I want, for example, to make it a little bit louder, I just can press this button.
Music through love.
And now it's really pretty loud.
In love. Music through love.
Yeah, and of course I can, for example, control it now on my smartphone here to play or not to play and stuff like that. And of course I can, for example, use this to go to the next sound clip or something like that, but I can also use, for example, Cortana with that. And in this device we have a microphone in it, and it's really a pretty nice one. I already tested it with telephone calls and stuff like that, and it's really a very, very nice quality, and everybody tells me that it's really quite nice device to use here. And what I can, for example, do now is I can, for example, I will just put this down here, and now I can, for example, just press this button for a longer time, and if I do that, pressing this for a longer time will activate Cortana on this device. So let's do that. There we are. Nächster Song. Yeah, and as you can see, we have just using or told Cortana to play the next song here. I will just, yeah, now I deactivated the device.
Connecting to Futures Lumia 950
Press the wrong button here.
Connected to Futures Lumia 950 XL.
But as you can see, it was a really fast connection process. Again, I pressed the device shutdown button. There's a little light. I don't know if you see that, but as said, you can notice if the device is on or not. And as you can see, we can just go on playing now. And the cool thing about it is that you really don't have to use your smartphone to hear music or something. You can, for example, just use your Cortana device assistant here to play music, or just to, for example, call people or something. So if I want to do that, that's possible too. You have to know, for example, which name your contact has in your contact list, and if you know that, then you can, for example, just call that person. So what I want to do here is I will just press on the right button here. It's a little bit hard for me to get accustomed to the position of the buttons, because all the time I'm using this on my neck now, and I'm used to where the buttons are there, and I just have to resync the position now. Tabs anrufen.
In Ordnung. Wen möchtest du anrufen?
Pubs anrufen.
Pubs auf welcher Nummer anrufen? Privat oder Handy?
Privat.
Ich rufe Pubs privat an.
And now we should, sooner or later, there you hear it, we are now trying to call somebody here. And I just called my own home, so you may have heard. Call ended. You may have heard that I just tried to call somebody here in the house, and this is more or less what I did here. And I'm doing this all with the Cortana device, so it's really helpful for this kind of stuff. Of course, you can, for example, use the device itself to do some phone calls and stuff. If, for example, someone is calling you, you just have to press on this button on the side to get the call there and talk to the people and stuff like that. It's really easy to use, and I really like this kind of stuff. We can try this out. Let's see if we can call myself here with my stationary phone, of course, I'm having here. Okay, let's try that. And as you can see, we are now connecting here, and like that I can, for example, just get this call, and now I'm talking to myself, as you can see here, and this is more or less what's happening there. So, quite easy to use, quite successful to use. It's really easy to use it. It's telling you different things, which are, for example, the call has ended, or or I'm trying to call somebody, or there's a caller coming in, you can, for example, use your Lumia 950 XL to read SMS for you. So the device will ask you if you want to read the SMS for you, and the SMS will be read to you by Cortana or somebody, I'm not sure, through this device, and everything is working fine there. I really like this kind of way that it's used there, and it's really a nice little device to use for that kind of stuff. Yeah, and of course the sound quality and stuff like that is really, really amazing with this, and I really, really like it. Yeah, and that was the unboxing video, and of course I have it around now, and like that, this is how it's looking in real life, or whatever you want to call it. And now I can just put it around my neck, like this, and just place it there. There it will just stay here. And now I can, for example, use it with my Lumia 950 XL. Even in Continuum modus, it's working. And that's a nice little gimmick here, because like that I can, for example, play some game or do anything, and it will just broadcast the sound to my device, and I will not much, at least, disturb some other people, because the cool thing about this kind of device is that it's really trying to focus the sound on your ears, which are a couple of inches up here. And the cool thing about that is that everybody else will really not notice a lot. It's of course depending on how high you turn the volume and stuff like that, but it's really a lot less for people which are, for example, 5 meters away from me or something like that, in comparison to what I'm hearing. And this is a cool thing. So if you are 5 meters away from me and I'm using this in a moderate way, then it's more or less like I would have earplugs in or something like that, and listen to them. And like that, this kind of device is really a nice one. And the really cool thing about it is that there is a really, really good transportation of bass, so of deep frequencies, because it's going to transport them more or less through my body, because it's really lying on my neck here, and like that my shoulders and my neck will transport these deep frequencies very, very nicely to my rest of the body. And now let's have a look at that. Just open up, for example, the groove music again, play something. And as you can see, it's now broadcasting everything. I'm not sure if you can hear it like that. You may be able to notice it, because I'm really having it in a very high level here. If I, for example, go and just turn down the volume now to more or less, something like that. This would be more or less the noise or the volume I would hear it if I'm hearing it in the background, so I'm not really listening to the music, but I'm hearing it in the background, so I have some kind of music between me or behind me, and like that. I think you shouldn't be able to hear much of it, but I can listen to it. And this is really a nice technology, because it's really focusing the sound on my ears here. This is something, for example, the JBL one, which is the only competition device I have seen till now, which is also giving you some kind of a neck speaker or something, is really not that good in that way, because there it's really more or less like a normal speaker on your shoulder here, and everybody else around you will be disturbed by it too. And the really cool thing about this kind of speaker is, of course, that you are not shut away from the environment. So you can, for example, hear something. If somebody is talking to you, you are quite easy to talk to, and other people can talk to you, and of course you can hear them too. So this is the opposite of noise cancelling, more or less. So if you want to, for example, really shut yourself away from the outside or something, then this is not the right way to go. This is really something you could, for example, wear on, I don't know, if you're working somewhere in an office or something like that, then this kind of device would really be pretty good for that, because you can hear music, everybody else is not, at least not much, disturbed by it, and people should be able to talk to you, but you can still hear something from this device. Yeah, and it's working, of course, with Continuum, and it's working with no Continuum, so if you are using it in a smartphone device way. And it's really a nice little feature stuff here. I will just turn the volume up to the highest level, and I'm pretty sure that you should be able to hear something, because there's not much I can get from the outside here, but just turn that down a little bit again because it's too loud for me. So it's really amazing how nice those speakers are really from the sound quality and stuff like that. And it's really a really nice thing to have on my neck. I really like this, and I got it for my birthday, which was last week, and because of that I'm very happy to have this. Just if you are asking yourself, is this a sponsored video because there is Bose all the time around and stuff like that, and I'm telling everybody it's a nice device. No, this is not sponsored. I got this more or less by a family member, and of course I had my fingers in there that this was given to me. So this was bought in a normal store by us, and Bose or somebody else didn't tell us to say anything about it or whatever, didn't ask us to review it or whatever. So this is really just something from me for you, just to tell you that this is a cool device. And it's quite expensive, that's the downside of it, but still very cool. I like it, and it's really giving me some kind of a good value for that, because I'm using it at my work life, for example, to listen to music, and people are not disturbed by it like that. And I really like this kind of feeling. It's a little bit different than you would in general listen to music to, because it's coming from behind you more or less, so it's broadcasting a little bit from behind you up to your ears, but it's really a nice quality sound, and I really like it. Yeah, okay, so I hope you had fun with this little, let's call it exclusion or something. It's of course loosely connected to Lumia 950 XL and Continuum here, because it's a Bluetooth device. You can use this with any kind of other Bluetooth device too. But it's really a nice thing. You can, for example, use it with Cortana, as I showed you before. You can use it to take calls, and you can, for example, use it in combination with Cortana to call somebody else by just using this device and the voice recognition by Cortana, of course. And like that, it's really a nice little feature, and I hope you had fun with it. I hope you had fun with the special episode, of course, and I will just shut it down. And I hope you had fun with the special edition, and hope you have a look at the normal edition, which is coming out more or less at the same time like this one, I think, and hope you had fun with it. Tell me if you have something to say about it, or if you have some kind of questions. I'm trying to answer them, of course. Just put them down below in the comment section there. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you are not subscribed till now, you may consider that, because then you may maybe notice about when the next video is coming out, and hope you like it. Yeah, so see you soon, have fun, and bye!